Hi everyone, welcome back. Thanks again for joining. So today what I wanted to film was my palette collection video. So what I kept this video sort of qualifying as a palette is like larger palettes with lots of eyeshadows in them. I didn't want to do like any of like the quads or the, obviously like the ones with just 2 or 3, those ones I did not do. These are all like my bigger palettes that mainly just have like eyeshadows and stuff in them, and that's what I wanted to show you guys today, to see what I have in my collection and a little bit of a review over sort of how I feel about them. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. So the first palette that I'm going to talk about is the Nude Tude by The Balm. So you can see that here. This palette I haven't gotten too much use out of. You do have to use it with another palette because there is not really any matte shades in here. So that I feel like is why I don't gravitate towards it a lot. A lot of the colors are more fall, so hopefully I will start to reach for it now as opposed to in the summer. So I have this one. I do have the La Palette Nude 1 by L'Oreal. These palettes, I know some people think they're hit or miss. I like that they're not super pigmented because day to day I don't want to have to work so hard sometimes with my makeup. I just want to be able to apply it and know that I'm not going to go overboard. So I do have this one and I do like it. Some of the shades are a little bit lackluster as far as pigmentation, like some of the lighter ones, but if you use like a jumbo eye pencil below them, like the NYX Milk or like the e.l.f. one that's like a light sort of taupey color, that works well. I also have the La Palette Nude 2. This one I used on my eyes today as well as with a L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow. So on my eyes today I used a combination of like this shadow, and this shadow to blend out and buff out the crease, and I used my L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow on the lid. But this palette I love because I do really like cool tone eyeshadows as well. I know a lot of people do stray away from them, but I really like them. This palette gives you a nice range. Like this one is an awesome crease shade color. There's none that I would really use for my brow bone in here, so that's kind of lacking, but I really like these. Again, some of the shades, especially like some of the shimmer shades, you might need to put like a crayon or something, like a jumbo eye crayon below to really get the color pigmentation that you're looking for. But for day to day, it's a great palette, and if you can watch out for when they're 40% off or buy one get one half off, it's not a bad deal. I do have the Lorac Pros palettes. These two, I absolutely love them. I love to travel with them. I love that you get combination of matte and shimmer. These are amazing. If you want to invest in a palette, I would definitely recommend this one over the other one just because the colors are more everyday, but I do love these. And the Lorac Pro 2 palette. This one I love as well. It has more of like some cooler shades in here, which I appreciate. I really love this blue, but I haven't done a look with it yet. So if you guys know of any great videos using this palette, especially where they use the blue, please leave a leave a comment with what YouTuber has done that, because I just, besides putting it all over the lid, I'm not really sure what to do with it. So, and I don't know if it's bold enough just to do like under eye pop, but so I do have this palette. I have 2 palettes from BH Cosmetics. You guys have probably already seen these on my channel before, so I'll just touch on them. So I have the Neutral Eyes palette and the Smoky Eyes palette. I don't use these palettes as much as I should. I think I gravitate more towards the Neutral Eye palette because I can do a full look with it, as opposed to the Smoky Eye palette where I do have to use another palette in conjunction with it because, again, there are no mattes. Moving on to my next little holder. I do have 2 palettes from e.l.f. These are the Prism eyeshadow palettes. I have it in Naked. These are amazing, buttery, pigmented, shimmery, metallic goodness. This one I reach for more than the other one, which is the Sunset Eyes. But this one, when I do use it, I tend to gravitate towards like this color or this color and do a wash all over the lid. The other colors I really haven't played around with too much. I've used this one a little bit, but they need a little bit more love than what I've been giving them, but think I got them for like 50% off or something. So $5. They're normally $10. They're a great deal. Pigmented, metallic, goodness. The other little guy that I have is the NYX Natural Eye Palette. This one I think is a little bit, it's sort of iffy on the color. Like, I don't really ever use this gold one. It just seems like really chalky and doesn't give you full coverage. But the rest of the shades I actually use quite often. Like, this is just a great smoky color. Like, if you want to play around with a smoky eye and not want to use black, this one is really great. It's a little bit brown, sort of charcoal. This one's a great color, and this one actually does work pretty well on the brow, and that one's a good crease color. So I found that I really like this little palette, and I do reach for it quite frequently. The next one is something that I asked for Christmas last year, which was the Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral palette. This one I've heard lots of people talk about, and that's why I wanted to get it. It's great, like, to pair with some of these bigger palettes that don't have any matte shades in there to get a whole look. So I would definitely recommend this, although it is about $20. So I mean, for another $20, you could get, you know, like the Lorac Pro palette and just have shimmer and mattes all in one. So that's something to think about. The other palette that I have is the Revealed 2. This one, I really wanted to get it for more of these like burgundy type shades because I didn't have anything like that. But I find I don't gravitate towards it as much as I thought I was going to, because it can make me look tired. So when I do a look like that, it's like a really bold look, and it doesn't really work all the time for every day. But in this palette, there's some really great standout colors. Like, these two are really good. I know they look kind of plain, but they're pretty pigmented for being light shades in a more inexpensive palette. And unfortunately, like, these three right here are almost identical when you put them on the eye. You really can't tell the difference. So some of those colors you don't get like a good range. And like this one, I don't know that I would ever use. It's like a weird color with just like chunky glitter in it, but you get a lot of shades to play around with, so it's not a bad deal, and I've used it plenty. Next one is a Wet n Wild palette. Everyone talks about this one, and I got it specifically for the greens and for like this dual chrome definer shade down here. This is like one of those great brown, blue, green kind of colors, and that is what drew me towards this palette so much. But the only thing is it's saying that you should put this on your brow. Like, that is pretty dark for a brow bone color for someone of my skin tone. So I don't know that I would ever do that. I do pair this palette with like a matte palette to get my full look. But this one is a great brow bone highlight. It's really nice and soft. These colors, like you've probably already heard a million times, this palette is amazing. Their eyeshadows are really great and pigmented, and they're really inexpensive. So definitely check this out if you have not already. Next palette that I have is a little Lorac palette that I got off of a Outlook sale. This one I used quite a bit. It does have a blush in there, but then it also has 6 eyeshadows. Again, I do have to pair this with something else because nothing in here is matte. But I find that it is nice to travel with as well because you do have your blush in there. And I love these great gray tone smoky type colors in that palette. And you know, in the summer I was really obsessed with sort of these rosy, peachy colors for the eyeshadows, so I really got a lot of use out of that as well. Next one is also a Lorac palette that I got off of Outlook. This one has a little bit of everything, and I used this a ton for a while. You can really tell like this color is pretty wore in, but it's got a highlighter in there, a blush, or 2 blushes and a bronzer, and then 6 eyeshadows. So this one is a pretty good deal. It's their resort palette. If you ever want to try some of their stuff and have like a good travel palette, this one is actually really good. I haven't seen it come on Outlook again when I've seen Lorac on there, but it's probably like a seasonal thing, or maybe it's limited edition. A Creative Me palette from Coastal Scents. This is because I don't really have any bright eyeshadows like this, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money like on the Urban Decay palette that has these bright colors in there, and I don't find myself reaching for it very much, so I'm glad I didn't spend a lot of money. The cool thing about this is if you really had other eyeshadow pans that you wanted to put in there, you could take these guys out and put, you know, your MAC eyeshadows in there, or you know, whatever Makeup Geek ones that would fit in here. So the palette alone was a pretty good deal for that. Next little guy you've seen me use plenty of times is the Hard Candy Birthday Suit palette. This one and the Sonia Kashuk one are just great, like, tag-along eyeshadow palettes. This one's all matte. It has like a wide range of warm and cool, and they're all pretty pigmented. If you're going to do an all matte look, you might have to use like a cream-based pretty sticky primer to get like the bold color that you're looking for, but otherwise just for transition shades, this is amazing. I have done some just looks with this alone. I will either link them below or do the little icon thingy up in the corner, so just check those out. The next palette I was super excited to get is the Tartelette palette. I haven't given it as much love as I should though for how much I wanted this palette. All matte palette, and has a range of cool and neutral and warm shades, so it goes great with any of these palettes that I have. This one I do leave out on my desk and I use frequently for just transition shades, but I don't do a lot of all matte looks. So this one I definitely should give more love, but it is an amazing palette. These are soft, buttery, pigmented, and great, so if you haven't checked that out, check it out. Next little palette I also got off of Outlook. This is the Too Faced Smoky Eye palette. This is in their old packaging, which I don't care. I'm glad I got it for a deal. This one I use pretty frequently, but again, I think the only matte one in here is Smolder, which is a really dark one. So I have to use something else with this palette, so you can't just take it on the go with you when you're traveling and get a full look out of it. But this color here is just a great inner corner highlight, brown bone highlight, and you can just get some really great smoky looks out of this palette. So I was pretty pleased with this palette and the deal that I got on it. Next palette I'm going to talk about is also a Tarte palette. You guys have seen this recently in one of my favorites videos, and it's still a favorite. It still stays out on my desk. I'm not sure what they call this. I know that they have, I think, 2 different kinds, but this you get 2 blushes and 6 eyeshadows. I don't really need to say more about Tarte. I mean, their stuff is amazing, so I will continue to buy more Tarte stuff in the future. Next 2 little palettes you've also seen me talk about. They came in like a gift set thing that I purchased from Tarte, so I don't believe that you can get these on their own. I don't even know really if they have a special name, but they have quite a few colors in each one of these palettes. This one has some warm colors, some green colors, some you know, bronzy, taupey type colors, and I can get a full look out of each one of these palettes because they do have mattes in here, and I can mix the really light matte with the dark brown to get like a medium transition one. Same with this guy here. This one's got more purple though in it and some browns in here, but I can get a full look out of this one as well. So both of these are great palettes, and they're very slim, which is nice. You know, you can fit this in a makeup bag very easily as opposed to like one of those large Lorac palettes. Alright guys, that's everything that I have. That's my palette collection. I know this is way more makeup than anybody needs, but most of this stuff I have gotten on like a deal or Outlook or when there's a sale. I know that doesn't matter, but I just recently started collecting makeup, and that's what I have right now. I'm sure it will continue to grow, so let me know in the comments below what palettes you have that I have, what we have in common, how you like to use them. Do you have any favorite YouTubers that, you know, do some great looks with these palettes that I have? Link them as well. I love watching other YouTubers do makeup. Let me know some palettes that I don't have that I should have, and I will definitely try and pick those up. Thanks again for joining. Please let me know also, what do you want to see next out of my collection? Do you want to see like blushes? Do you want to see my favorite brushes or what I have for my brush collection? Do you want to see, what else do I got? My lipstick collection. I don't really have that many lipsticks because I'm not so much of a lipstick person or a lip product person. I tend to just keep using the stuff that I throw in my purse. But let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!